Hello there, folks. It's your host, Nerdy John. And today on the Nerdy Podcast, we have a very special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself, sir?
Hi, I'm Montreal and I make mediocre at best commentary videos on YouTube.
Yeah. Speaking of commentary videos, dude, have you seen like the recent Dream merch?
Yeah, I heard about that. I think a lot of people were criticizing it again because he was charging too much for it, I think, and that his sign of the whole thing was just like his smiley face.
Yeah. Well, what was it? It was like somewhere in the range of 25 to $50 for like a water bottle.
Yeah, I think I saw that somewhere. So with this whole situation, I feel like it's definitely like a bit overpriced. But I also personally think that a lot of commentary YouTubers are overblowing this whole thing. Because in my opinion, there's like a lot of brands that do the same kind of thing. Like
Mhm.
even the most popular ones like Supreme, it's just like a tiny logo onto a basic shirt. And it will cost way more than whatever like Dream's offering. And the whole point of like a merch like Dreams is that his like fans or I guess stands can wear it and like being recognized as like a Dream supporter, I guess. And like I get that it can be like a bit much, but I think below the Beaks video or below someone's video, he commented that he runs this whole operation by himself, like with his own website and stuff. And I can somewhat understand that this might cost like a little bit more.
Mhm. So to get into that a little bit, it was found out that that was a copy paste comment, and it's not confirmed yet. But like Dream saying that he runs the entire thing by himself could be complete BS because people are suspecting that he is using this certain app that basically runs the entire thing.
That's an interesting theory, but I mean, you have evidence on neither side, really, do you?
No, it like I said, it's speculation at this point.
Yeah, that's definitely like it's something to consider, but if there's like no proof, then commentators shouldn't be out here saying like that's probably what's happening. Like
Definitely.
I definitely feel like Dream can be criticized for a lot of his actions, like especially with the whole stan culture and stuff.
Hmm.
But on the other hand, I do actually think that he might be getting a little bit too much hatred from the commentary community. I mean, a lot of that has been caused by his stance on Twitter and on other platforms, but I do think he's slightly overhated.
So yeah, and another thing too is when you start going after him over petty stuff, it will make his position look more valid. So it will just bolster his stands, and like complete reasonable people will start agreeing with him more than they should with the commentary channels because they're basically TMZ. They're basically becoming a TMZ towards him, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, just putting because of this whole like stan culture, just putting Dream in your tags and talking about him in your video, it will automatically get you a lot of views. There'll always be a lot of people interested in that subject in particular. So I
Mhm.
guess I can kind of understand that motivation behind wanting to always release something new on Dream.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a commentary channel myself, but I get like the temptation for them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, personally, I don't think I've ever seen something that's worth really making a video on Dream on, except like the John Swan situation. I primarily focused on John Swan there.
Hmm. Oh, speaking of that, one of I am Alex's e boys started to come in defense of John Swan, and I don't know if you watch him, but Tommy C, uh, he went on what was it like a 15-minute rant about this guy.
Huh, really? I mean, which person of the E-boys was it? Because I didn't really, I haven't really realized that happened at all yet.
Hey, I'm looking for like the name of him now because I haven't really heard. I don't, other than like knowing about I Am Alex, I don't follow the E Boys at all because I prefer to stay away from cancer.
I mean, fair enough. I think like I don't really like the E-boys for obvious reasons, especially I'm Alex, but also like I don't have major problems with like the rest. Like I just don't watch their content all that much.
Mm-hmm.
Like not at all, basically.
I guess that's the best way to put it for me. I like their content never appealed to me in the first place.
Yeah, I don't think there was ever a time where I was like hyped for a Alex or a Mimulus video or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
The only person like out of the whole group I used to watch quite a bit is I Never, and he got like snaked out of there. So yeah, I don't like him all that much in general.
Let's see. James Marriott.
Huh. Yeah, I recognize that guy. Like I have a picture in my head. I'm pretty sure that it's him. I think he like recently dropped an EP or something. He started getting into music, if
Oh
I remember
no,
correctly.
another YouTuber getting into music.
Yeah, I mean, I think I listened to one of his tracks, and it's actually like it's somewhat decent. I mean, it's not the cream of the crop, but like it's better than a lot of YouTubers have done.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of, didn't Dream 2 make a track? He made a track.
Yeah, I think it was called Road Trip, and he had someone featured on there. For
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, and I remember that too because like one of his like streamer friends released released a song around the same time he did, and all of his fans were like attacking him and be like, you're trying to take Dreams you're trying to steal Dream's spotlight." And the dude was like, "Look, I'm friends with Dream. He had me listen to the song. I thought it was very good."
All right. I mean, that's kind of pathetic stan culture yet again. I mean, it's commonplace in Dreams community. But from like purely the song, I think it was actually like I thought it was all right. Like I listened to it and I actually liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know it's popular to hate on like whatever Dream does, but I don't have like any negative feelings towards that song at all. I mean, normally like I normally only listen to hip hop, but that song was like it was all right. Like I compare it to what some other YouTubers have released over time and promoted as their new songs, like music as a new direction they were gonna take the channel. And
Mm-hmm.
then I see Dream's song, and I think Dream definitely did it a lot better than most people. I would say, like most YouTubers.
Right. I'm neutral on the song if that makes sense. I mean, I think it's definitely not bad. I've heard worse stuff on YouTube, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a decent example. I mean, I think that came from Maximilian Musk,
Oh yeah,
who
R.I.P.
recently got his channel deleted.
Oh yeah, R.I.P. That dude's channel. Even though, let's be honest, it was kind of deserved.
Yeah, I don't think he was much of a loss. I mean, what's actually kind of strange is I knew this guy from his Overwatch videos. Like, I think back in the day, we actually used to like somewhat casually watch him, but we didn't even realize there was an oh yeah, I mean, like I never like heard about that at all
Mm.
for some reason.
Yeah, it was like his 50, like Critical said, it was his 15 seconds of fame, and none of his videos ever popped off since. The only reason why people still kept talking about him was because he was doing the trolling stuff.
Yeah, I mean, with Maximilian Musk, I think he's like the definition of weaponizing your audience and turning them into like some sort of army, which I find somewhat questionable, to be honest.
Mhm. Yeah, and um, dude. By the way, It really sucks that you about that situation that you had about like the what was it, the 14-year-old trying to steal your thumbnail.
I mean, trying to steal. I mean, he basically stole it, but yeah, it was like a rather uncomfortable situation. Like I was put in a very like bad um I was put in a very bad position here because like I knew that I wanted to respond just because like he lied to his audience and like claiming that I gave him consent. But on the other hand, I knew that like I'm basically like I have no chance in this whole situation just because they're like four people and one of them has 4K and all of the other people are like at 500 subs.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's just gonna be like a wave of people that will always be like have a negative perception of me just because they'll believe whatever like they're saying. But
Right.
I don't actually want to like speak about that for too long here because I'm probably gonna make like a second video on that because I think like every single person involved at this point has made like a video, and there's just so much misinformation being spread that I do feel like I need to clarify some things again because there's even slander going on, which is ironically what like me and this other person that really did come out in support of me, which I greatly appreciated. I mean, Communist Creeper is his name.
Oh
Like
yeah,
he reached
yeah.
out to me after, yeah, he reached out to me after he saw my video and was like, "I want to give you a bigger voice. I'm gonna make a video on that as well," which kind of like gave more attention to the situation. But that's probably what triggered a lot of these response videos because like I appreciate his videos, but some of his claims were a little bit like off. Like he like he made a good video, but he also like sometimes gave the other people material to fight back.
Right, right. I think we can all agree on one thing though. That kid who stole your thumbnail, his audio is complete crap, and like he's using a Blue Yeti Nano, and those actually sound pretty decent. And this kid doesn't know how to edit his videos, I guess.
Yeah, he doesn't put. I mean, personally, from what I'm seeing, I don't think he puts in too much effort at all, which is quite ironic because they were saying about me that I'm like one of the most effortless and bland commentary channels, which I don't think I am effortless. Like you can call me bland, you can like dislike all of my videos, but I don't think I think I put some effort into them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you
Like
did
especially compared to them.
right. I mean, for one, you make your own thumbnails.
Yeah, fact. I mean, I really don't want to like go on this for too long because I do want to make a video on that, but just know like literally his first response video, you could watch it and then like rewind to like minute 5 to minute 7 in my original video, and you'll instantly discover that he lied like 3 times or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm definitely not going to back down here because I do have the support of a lot of people. But in public opinion, it does seem like even though my video has like a 95 positive like ratio, in public opinion, it does seem like I'm kind of like the hated one just because like they have like way more people, like a combined audience of like 5.5K.
Right, right, and it's just a bad situation.
Yeah, it's definitely not something I wanted to be involved in. Like, I really would have wished that when I reached out privately, like he would like this, like the guy that stole my thumbnail, that he would have just been like, "Yeah, okay, I'll change it." Like that would have completely prevented this entire thing from happening. Like
No,
they're making it out to be like I blew this up on purpose to like uh expose them and get clout out of them, and it's literally just like, nah, I tried to reach out in private, you refused to cooperate. Like you completely refused to. You lied to your audience in claiming that you had consent when I didn't even know you. And yeah, so I'm gonna respond.
right, and it's like if you really wanted to just get clout off someone, you could have made a dream video.
Yeah, exactly. That's a fair point.
Yeah, like I'm sorry, kid. I mean, good. I mean, good on you for getting what was it like 600 subs, but like, believe it or not, people aren't gonna want to leech off that.
Yeah, I mean, even Communist Creeper, who like also made a video, like I previously said, he thought that this guy was subbotting because his views and subs apparently didn't match up. But I'm not some like YouTube algorithm expert. Like, I'm not claiming I have any knowledge of that at all. So I'm just gonna I'm just gonna leave it to them to figure it out because
Mhm.
I would have no idea how to prove if someone is subbotting or not. Like, that's absolutely not my cup of tea. So I'm just gonna stay away from that.
Right, and yeah, because like let's say the algorithm gods bestow upon you like a video that's very specific, a video that you yourself don't normally do or a topic that you don't normally cover, and then like you get a bunch of subscribers but they're from that video and thus they're looking for that style of content. So when you're pushing out content that isn't like that video, obviously the majority of that audience isn't going to watch.
Yeah, I mean that's just a fact. Like, if you have one video that blows up, I think a good example for that is I think this commentary channel. I think his name is Tridanium. I might be butchering that name. I don't know too much about him, but I think he was one of the guys that put like happy music over tragic movie scenes, and he got like millions of views on that videos. And then he started making commentary videos on like it plummeted to only like 1K people. So if you're really gonna do like different style content, if you're gonna try something out, then you should at least like go from one way of creating videos to another in like slow, short steps. Because if you abruptly change it, I think like you're scaring off a lot of viewers.
Right. And like that sort of like to relate to that, that sort of happened with Sky Does Minecraft. Minecraft wasn't doing good around 2015 or so. So he like instantly flipped from Minecraft to trying to make like music, and that went nowhere.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I mean, let me think if I can recall any other example of this exact situation happening. I don't have anything in my mind right now, but I feel like I've definitely like seen this multiple times before. Oh, like actually, I can remember some guy. I don't know his name, but I think there was like a FIFA channel with like 500K subs, and he started getting into music like very abruptly,
Oh no.
and I think like his music videos only get like 5K views on a 500K subs channel. So yeah, I feel like if you completely abruptly change it, you're not gonna get anywhere. Like, I personally, if I were to change my content, I wouldn't put it on a second channel. I would just like slowly kind of like switch it up, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, and like I don't like I for me, I don't ever see myself making a second channel because like at the end of the day, YouTube is a hobby, and I just want to be like, I just wanted to enjoy myself and be creative as possible. So, like, I have definitely stuff, I have content that's definitely a mainstay, like, you know, let's plays, like podcasting, and then like review stuff. But like, if I want to do something different here and there, I'll definitely do it, you know?
Yeah, you shouldn't let yourself like you shouldn't set yourself creative boundaries. Like, I would never like the thing something I would have to I would go by is just to say you should do what you want to do and not what people expect you to do. Like,
Right.
if that makes any sense at all.
Right. Because if you just do what everyone wants you to do and you yourself don't like doing it, then you're not going to be happy with it. Like after a while, PewDiePie hated making the horror videos. But because everyone wanted him to do it, he kept doing it until eventually he just had to stop. And you know, now he's mostly a Reddit channel.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a variety channel, like a popular variety channel, you basically made it. Like, you can do whatever you want.
Mhm. Oh
But yeah, I
god.
can definitely understand this whole perspective. I think the only way you would like hate your own content more is when you start out YouTube as like a character, but not like filthy Frank kind of character that just like comedic, but like in your videos you're kind of like pretending to be someone else, you know? You're
Hmm.
not like your real self. I feel like after time that can get extremely draining. Like even if you make it like say let's say you make it to like 100k subs or something, which would be like a great accomplishment. Like all these people will know you for whatever persona you play on the internet and not the real person behind that.
Right. A great example of that is Doug Walker, because mostly everyone knew him as Nostalgia Critic, and then he killed off Nostalgia Critic to do this random web series that he wanted to do. It got nowhere, and he ended up having to do Nostalgia Critic again.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know who that is, but
Oh,
I'll trust you.
I don't blame you for not knowing. I mean, he has around 1 million subscribers now. He's actually like one of the OG YouTubers, kind of, sort of, because he started YouTube in like 2007, but he kind of left YouTube for a bit because he made his own website to host his own videos, because YouTube at the time was not friendly towards movie review channels.
Yeah, I understand that. I
But
think I recall a situation happening in like 2009 or something, where one guy also had to move all of his videos to another website just to like return like 2 years later when it was finally like fine for everyone.
mhm. Oh god, people are like that. People were like that with Storyfire for a hot minute when they found out that it was gonna like when they thought it was gonna shut down. Everyone was like, "Okay, I'm right. I know the whole purpose of making videos on Storyfire was to get away from YouTube, but I'm back on YouTube now, guys." And then Storyfire goes around and be like, "Hey, we're not actually shutting down."
Yeah, I guess like at this point in time, there isn't like any competitor to YouTube you can actually take seriously.
Oh, not at all.
Like
No.
BitChute at most, but not really.
Like the closest thing we have to a YouTube competitor is Twitch, and that's live streams.
Yeah, that's like a whole different situation, you know?
Entirely different can of worms.
Yeah, because Twitch wouldn't pull away viewers from YouTube because Twitch doesn't have a video function.
Hmm. Dude, like
Well,
if these company if Amazon and Google just got together and was like, okay, we'll just merge these two, and we'll split them halvesies. That would be like the worst thing to happen on the internet. Like imagine like the crap community guidelines of YouTube mixing with like the DMCA laws of Twitch. That would be an unholy nightmare.
yeah, especially with the whole preference on Twitch. Like, I think Twitch is treating people even more unfairly than YouTube is, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
In some cases, at least.
Yeah. Oh god. Like what was it? They verified Onision recently. Or was it not recently, but like a couple months ago they verified Onision.
Yeah, and there was like this whole controversy with that ex Twitch, what was it, administrator or something, like giving away Twitch partnerships to Eagles in exchange for like certain female stuff. And
Oh,
yeah, that was kind of pathetic. I'm not gonna lie. I think Twitch has like a clear bias at this point. I mean, Twitch clearly choose between like broadcasting like edgy creators and like giving everyone a voice, and the other option was like the sex industry, and they definitely like chose the sex industry. Like Twitch just chatting, like half of the people are just like basically creating soft porn.
mm-hmm. Which is weird considering that the majority of the people who watch Twitch are kids. And I know kids don't really watch the IRL section that much, which is predominantly where these e-thoughts are. But like it's still, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what's actually interesting is I think some kind of news network came out with a short, like 20-minute long documentary about some female streamer. And at the end of the day, I mean that's female streamer. I don't remember what her name was. I think it was Vivi or something. And she actually, after her stream with her like highest donators, she actually always goes into Discord video calls, and they showed that. And like everybody who was sitting there, I think there was like one girl that seemed to be around like 20 and looked like a classical feminist girl with like short white hair,
Mhm.
and the rest was like all dudes in their 30s, like usually like a bit chubby, not too much hair,
Oh no.
and depressed. And that was a sad sight, man. But
I
I do think like that's exactly how I imagine the people that like every day throw 300 like bucks at their queens.
the question is, where do they get this money at? I mean, they have
Yeah,
to
did you
be
hear that? Go ahead.
semi-successful. They have to be semi-successful or something if they're willing to throw out that much dough.
Yeah, like that's one of the biggest mysteries on the internet. I mean, you sometimes hear the story like some simp went homeless for Pokemon, but like normally they donate so much, but I don't know where they be taking that money from. Like it's really something I want to question. Like if I were to donate, like let's say I donated like $50 every stream, like after 1 week I'd be broke.
Right. But like these guys are like, yo, okay, here's 300. Oh wait,
Yeah, that's
it's a daily stream. It's okay, 300 all around.
Yeah, I really wonder what's going on with these people. I mean, and, like if they have semi-successful jobs, then they should be capable of like getting forming any relationship with anybody that's not like a parasocial relationship with like an ego. Like most of these sims exist like, especially like the like the ones that are down like the worst. Only watch this girl because like they donate money to her, and she's like the only woman in their life that won't like ignore or reject them,
Mhm.
which is quite devastating if you think about it.
Right. I mean, like, at a certain point, you have to consider it is paying for an escort cheaper at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's just like too many parasocial relationships building on Twitch. Like not just between like eFots and like Sims, but just in general. Like there's so much forming, and I think like if you watch a stream casually, then Twitch is a great site. But if you get too like attached to the streamer, it can definitely have a lot of side effects, especially if you happen to meet them like in real life at like a gathering or something.
Yeah, like some of these people think that they're becoming friends with the person even though they probably have like no contact with them whatsoever.
Yeah, they
And
only know them by like a username.
yeah, like oh my gosh, cat, I feel like we're such best friends. It's like but her name's like Rachel or something.
Yeah, that's absolutely cringe. I mean, these parasocial relationships have always been a problem, but they are evolving more and more, especially over lockdown. They probably got even worse.
Mhm.
Well, one aspect I do find interesting here is that most people would say that as a male streamer, you have it the worst on Twitch. Would you agree with that?
I mean, kind of, sort of, because unless you're like really charismatic or you're really good at the game, it's really hard to find an audience on Twitch unless you happen to be like the only guy or streaming like this really obscure game. And so you get a bunch of people watching your stream that way. But
You see,
oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
like I understand that mindset, and I agree to an extent, and I also think like the people that have it the easiest on Twitch are definitely like attractive white chicks, but the ones that have it the hardest, in my opinion, are not like men, but it's like female streamers that start out and just want to stream normally, like without that entire like tipping sims or like showing body parts aspect. When you just like want to stream casually, like a game to your friends, or like a game with your friends, or like casually that's playing anything, and you'll constantly have these like people coming in that will like insult you in a sexist way because they expect the same treatment from you like they're getting from like the ones at the top, because all the female streamers at the top except for like one or two like are that just chatting efort way. And I feel like that definitely affects the like little ones the most that just want to stream normally.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Like, chaotic. She's from Craig's server. She is really friendly and stuff, and I would imagine she's probably gotten a couple people on her streams that were probably thought she would behave like Pokimane would, or like the other ones who pretend to play video games. I can imagine that would be really frustrating. But again, that kind of coincides with like the male aspect of it too. Unless you're like really good with the video game or you're very charismatic, because on a certain level, these e-girls have to be charismatic on some basic level. That's why they got like all the guys donating tips to them. I feel like all streamers face the same difficulty, just like in slightly different aspects.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, when you're starting out, you usually like work another job, or if you're young, you go to school parallel to that. And I feel like starting out as a streamer, like first of all, you have to get like decent enough equipment to be able to stream. But just starting out and growing an audience is one of the hardest things to do. But once you're at the top, you are definitely like it's one of the most relaxing jobs ever.
Right. And like, yeah, actually, just somewhat relate to it. I watched this video and it was like, what microphones do the top 20 streamers use? And it's like a lot of them use microphones that are in like the $400 to $500 range. So like they've made pretty big investments, and you gotta think like those are like XLR microphones. So you have to have like $150 to $200 audio interface equipment, and then they're running their games at like they're running their games at 10, like for them they're running their games at 1080 60 frames, no frame skippage whatsoever, with the smoothest internet possible. That must be like thousands of dollars right there.
Yeah, like you wouldn't be able to accomplish that when you're just starting out. But like that's obvious. Like you obviously with time you can improve your quality with the money you have earned. Or you can just be like a Twitch bot and like invested in like I don't know, a new car or something.
Or you get those ASMR microphones that allow you to talk into the left channel and the right channel separately, and you whisper.
Oh my god, nah, I can't stand that at all. When people do that.
Yeah, I hate to be. I'm probably gonna sound like a hipster when I say this, but like I generally I prefer smaller streamers, because like the whole point of streaming is to like connect with an audience and chat about the game you're playing. And that's usually what you get when you get with smaller streamers. When you're watching a big streamer, you're just generally watching them to play the game, not necessarily to like talk to anyone, not even like the other people watching, because the chat moves so fast.
Yeah, the chat moves at lightning speed with people like XQC, man. I think XQC, I used to watch him since like 2017. Like I was like an Overwatch player, like an Overwatch OG, and he was like the biggest streamer in the game. And I really loved his content, but I do actually get that the chat moves at such a lightning speed that like you can barely interact with him. And I do see that kind of appeal with a smaller streamer where you can interact with them a lot. But then again, there's this risk of like forming a parasocial relationship that might go wrong.
Yeah, good point. I think I mean, definitely like I think like if people like just want to like talk to, I think people should focus on talking to the community of the person before they talk to the person themselves. Like, don't join a Discord to talk to that person specifically. Talk to go to the Discord because you know that there are going to be people with the same general like, or just general appeal in whatever that person's streaming.
Yeah, that's definitely a fair point. I mean, this just goes like to I guess this kind of moves into a conversation of just like fans wanting to get close to creators, like I guess to kind of like profit off them. I guess like a lot of times it's people that want to start out themselves, that want to like get some connections or something. And I do think you should rather like talk to the community first. Like if you actually get along with the community, you probably like fit in. But if you're going in there to start arguing with people, then like, it's probably a sign that maybe you should search like a different community.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, hang on. I got something else here. It's in my notes.
All right.
Gosh darn it! Come on. Oh, Deaf Noodles. Deaf Noodles.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your general take on him?
Okay, so with Deaf Noodles, I wasn't really aware of him at all until early December, which was just when I was getting into the commentary community. So I didn't really pay attention too much or to what was happening on Twitter. But like after time, like when I see his videos, it's obvious that like it's the same bland, repetitive content every week or like every day. Like somebody get exposed, somebody did this, somebody did that, and then like it's the same repetitive jokes. So
right.
like
and then he puts on this wacky voice, guys, because he's playing a character after all. He's just playing a character and he's making fun of the news.
Yeah, I mean, I don't find him to be all that funny. I don't think that's too much of a hot take. I generally would have a hard time finding anyone who like literally like legitimately laughs at his jokes. But like other than his YouTube content, what he does on Twitter, it's in my opinion extremely problematic because he wants to both be a satire page and like break like real like normal stories basically, and that definitely causes a lot of problems. I mean, because not everyone gonna realize that like even if he puts a disclaimer, like he puts a disclaimer if it's like a serious news, that's all right, like I have no problem with that. But he doesn't put a disclaimer like usually if it's like a satire news, because that's the standard that's like expected of it.
Yeah, and
but like then I see go ahead.
And like my main problem with him is it's not like I think anyone should be allowed to take criticism, but the problem is he doesn't take the criticism and tries to improve upon it, or just like look at it like, oh, okay, well, that's your opinion of me, whatever. Like he doesn't even go that route. It's, oh, you only hate me because you're an alt-right racist, when his race was never brought up and most people thought he was a white guy.
Yeah, like he blocks you, then he goes onto his second account. Excuse me, I mean his main account. That's definitely his second account. Blocks you there as well. I bet it's just because he's so committed to stay in character that he's gonna block you everywhere.
Oh yeah, he's a method actor.
Like that's obviously just pathetic. If you have to block everyone who like even implies the slightest criticism towards you. I mean, he blocked Repzilla, and Repzilla really was like super nice to this guy and just wanted to help him out, and definitely just blocked him. So like it's really sad to see. But what I originally wanted to say is, with him being a credible news source, a lot of people that like big creators that don't know him, like don't know that he's satire, will see a post and then like make a quote tweet to it, and then there's millions of people seeing that like Deaf Noodles thing, and they'll recognize him as like a credible news source. For instance, I think did Mr. Beast once quote? I think Mr. Beast's second account once tweeted him, and like one of the 10 biggest like Twitch streamers, some guy whose name I can barely pronounce, also quote tweeted him, and like I think he talked about it like being some serious news, and that's definitely a huge problem, because then a lot of people that are unaware of him will recognize him. Oh yeah, he's a serious news source. But then when they see stuff like John Swan is alt-right, then I mean, first of all, that's a terrible joke. Like if I were to say, "Hey, look at this guy Craig Beckett, he's progressive." Like, what kind of joke is that? That's like not funny in the slightest. That there isn't like, for someone who claims to have read so many comedy books, like there isn't like a punchline or anything. There's no build up. It's just like a blanket statement.
Yeah, but what's the punchline there? Like, I'll give you a controversial punchline. Okay, so like the punchline is, the joke is, chivalry is dead. The punchline is, and women killed it.
Yeah, you see, that's like at least somewhat funny. But like just saying somebody's alt-right, that's not even like a joke. So, but like apart from that not being funny at all, if people just see that and only recognize him from like these bigger creators using him as a credible news source, then they'll think like, yeah, this is true. He is alt-right. And like even under like, I think the past couple of days he tweeted a lot under Cow's posts, kind of like provoking him. And I really didn't like that either. I think he definitely on one side, I feel like he has an inferiority complex. Like he thinks he's less than everyone else. But on the other hand, I think he also has like a superiority complex, like a what do you call it? I think I tweeted about. No, wait, hold up. I need to. What did I? There, a god complex.
Oh, like, god complex. Okay.
Overextended, yeah. That's like a bit over exaggerated, but I think you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Now, here's the big question. If we were to put Keemstar and Def Noodles in a room and gave them both microphones, who would be the first one spouting BS first?
Damn, that's a tough question, because I like highly dislike both of them. I think I might dislike Keem like a lot more. I think Keem is like one of the worst people to ever exist on the platform. Like I would never engage with Keemstar. Like I think the day I created my Twitter account, I instantly blocked Keemstar and like people related to him, because like I don't want to associate with that part on the internet at all. Like I highly despise Keemstar. But on the other side, Def Noodles, I feel like it might be Keemstar just because Keemstar might like talk first. Like I don't think Def Noodles has the confidence to start a conversation.
No, I don't. I don't think so either. Like, God forbid if these two ever appeared on a podcast together, it would be who would do like their irritating voice first. Let's get right into the news.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever watched a drama alert video, but I feel like the only like somewhat decent like mainstream news source on YouTube would be Scares, but Scares uploads very sparsely, so I guess he's kind of out of the picture for like most parts. I think he hasn't uploaded in a month. I could be wrong though.
I remember when Grade A Under A shouted him out during that whole Keemstar situation.
Yeah, I guess it helped out Scares a lot. I mean, Scares obviously doesn't go super in depth onto anything, but like he provides news like you want to know about. You can look into it yourself, and he's unbiased. Like that's all that matters to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, transparency is something that is basically a lost art to these days, because okay, let's say like Keemstar did something and someone reports on it and they go, this disgusting man Keemstar did something that I don't like. Well, even if you agree with it, whether you like it or not, it's automatically a biased thing. It's not an objective source of information.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, I would rather have like a scarce, like super, like surface level cover topic for like 40 seconds, but him being unbiased, then I'd watch like a 30-minute drama alert interview where Keemstar is just like pretending to be not biased, but he's clearly like on one side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's basically on whoever like big YouTube supports more, that's the side he's going to be on. Ironic, since big YouTube was once like the reason why he could never keep a channel.
True. But like, yeah, on the other hand, it's kind of impressive that he managed to last this long with so many people against him.
Yeah, that is the funny thing, but like he's never like he's made like really bad like hot takes here and there, but he's never been in a situation where like the people he's brought on his show has like he's never like ever tried to let's put it in like a pro gamer term. He's never been those spicy Minecraft YouTubers, if you get what I mean.
Oh yeah. I understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah, so like unless Keem for some reason does something like that, I don't think anything's gonna cancel him at this point. Ethan tried to
Yeah,
cancel him and that didn't work.
Yeah, that backfired. I think like in the moment it kind of like did some damage to Keemstar, but like long lasting effect, I think Keemstar came back from it, and Ethan has just been on the decline for quite some time.
Oh
at this
yeah.
point.
His second channel has basically become the main channel.
Yeah, I mean, how many podcasts does he have? I mean, he has the normal one, then he has After Dark, then he has Frenemies, and I don't even know if he has another one, but it's too much. I mean, he's like a full-time podcaster, which wouldn't be a bad thing, but there's like so much like terribly wrong stuff coming out from there. Like I think 3 days ago, he did a hot take on the James Charles situation, where like the stuff he was saying, like I guess in a podcast you often can't inform yourself like right away, especially if you're instantly covering a certain news topic. But the way he was talking about James Charles, like he was convinced that James Charles is guilty, and I think he said that James Charles committed a crime, and he left out the part that like the guy lied about his age, and I do think like that's quite manipulative.
Yeah, like he always leaves out stuff like that. And it's like, you know, podcasters have bad takes all the time. The difference is 9 times out of 10, Ethan never apologizes for it. He either ignores it entirely or he doubles down.
Exactly. And that's become like a major problem with his channel nowadays.
Mm-hmm. There's a reason why he needs a script. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, those two, Ethan and Hila, they were the mom and dad of YouTube at one point. Now look at them.
Yeah, they've certainly declined a lot. Even though I have to admit, I never watched H3H3 back in the day.
Oh, neither did
like,
I.
But I knew that they were like critically acclaimed by most people. So I guess I can kind of still see the decline, because nowadays I think there's like a way bigger size of, like portion of their audience does not approve of them anymore.
Mm-hmm. Like I watched his Trisha Paytas video, but that was about it. Ironic now, considering that she will soon become his sister-in-law.
Yeah, and they make this like frenemies podcast together. But Trisha Paytas, like, I have like a list in my head of people I'll never want to get into, and Trisha Paytas and Keemstar like at the top.
Yeah. So, we're about an hour in. So, I want to thank you, man, for joining me today. And I felt like we had a pretty good conversation with some varied topics. Guys, seriously, go check this guy's channel out. He makes really nice commentary videos. This man's almost at 100 subs, and I want to see this dude get to 200.
I will. I'll try my best. I'm one sub away from 100, so if one person could help, I'd greatly appreciate that.
And speaking of subbing, we gotta do the usual housekeeping here. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that way you know whenever I upload.